Hello and welcome to Husky Hoops. I am your host, the best podcast host in the universe, Steve Cully. With me, the man himself, the legendary voice of the Huskies,
Hold
the
on. Ladies
Okay.
before gentlemen, please.
Oh, ladies before gentlemen.
You got to know the order here.
All right, you're right, Joe. Because of my my bad experience with women, I do not know that. So thank you for teaching me. We have UConn Women's legendary player and current Western Connecticut State University head coach Maria Conlon with us. Maria, great to see you as always.
She can't hear anything. She just texted she can't hear anything.
Oh, she can't hear anything. She's in it. Oh, can you hear now? No, she can't hear now.
Obviously not.
Yeah, I see. Okay. Let me see if this works. Can you hear it now?
There we go. I can hear you guys now.
All right.
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Hey, do you need a chaperone when you go to Puerto Rico?
Yeah, man.
I'm in.
I think it should be a Husky Hoops trip to Puerto Rico. To be honest, I think
that would be awesome.
That. Now I can say
that'd be cool.
We have the icon himself, the legendary voice of the Huskies, the best of the best, Joe D'Ambrosia. Joe, great to see you.
Good morning.
Yes, good morning. It is. Good morning. It is. And Maria and I were talking yesterday, and we were going to start with obviously the women playing number 20 Louisville. And I wanted to get your thoughts, Maria, because you had predicted, I believe it was a 20 to 25 point victory. What were your thoughts on it being a little bit closer than anticipated?
Yeah, I mean, I think that, the second quarter and the third quarter, I thought we were not great. The first and fourth quarter went about how I thought. I think, we played a decent amount of people. Listen, like Louisville is a well-coached team. And they're tough. I mean, they're a top 20 team for a reason. So I thought this was a good one for them to get out there and, shake some cobwebs off. They still won by 13. So.
Yeah. And Sarah Strong led the way, as you predicted, 21 points. AZ had 20, KK had 13. So the big three right there did a nice job. Joe, what were your thoughts on this game?
I agree with Maria. I thought, for the most part, they played well. Obviously, when you've got the two best players on the floor in every game, it gives you a better chance to win. I think when they play the upper echelon teams, and it's a good Louisville team, it's not a vintage Louisville team of Angel McCoughtry or people like that. You need to see who the third scorer is going to be. Last night it was KK. Shade really struggled to shoot the ball again. Sarah Williams didn't shoot well. Kaylee Hikel was good off the bench. I was kind of surprised, Maria. There was all this talk about, they have all this depth and so many more people. And basically, Gino played 6 players. I mean, El Alfie played 7.5. Ice played 9. Ali Zeibel played 5.5. Patterson and Ducharme never got off the bench. They have a couple kids hurt. I think at the end of the day, it's going to be 9 players.
Yeah, I mean that's what I figured from the beginning, is that they would go 9 deep, and I think whoever that core 5 is going to end up being is probably going to play the bulk of it. I think we'll have a little bit of an old school situation at UConn where Sarah and AZ are going to do their thing every night, would be my guesstimate, and then to your point, like KK was the third-headed monster last night.
Right.
Maybe it's Shade the next game. Maybe it's Williams the game after that. I think that for us, you know, we got a lot of it's so crazy because we do have a lot of returners, but we have a lot of new people in the mix that I think are still trying to figure it out a little bit.
Yeah.
And I think you saw that a little bit yesterday. It was kind of like everybody was getting a couple minutes where it's like, all right, let's see what sticks, right? When we throw it at the wall and like what can give us our consistent stuff that we want to see. You know, and it's early, so that doesn't like concern me too much. I mean, I still think that Sarah and Easy are two of the top 5 best players in the country this year, so it's not awful, but
Right.
they definitely, I think, are gonna have to find like who is gonna be that third double-digit scorer consistently. Because as much as I love KK and I love her energy, I just don't know. She's not going to give you 15 to 20 a game. That's just not her style of play, unless it's all turnovers, etc. Because she's not a great outside shooter. So yeah, I mean, we got to figure that out. I don't know what's going on with, you know, obviously some players played significantly less than we saw in the first exhibition game. I'm not really counting the Southern game because that was such a rout.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, injuries again, early season, you know, nags on people. So El Affy surprised me because I thought she played great towards the end of the season last year. And she was kind of like a staple for us throughout. So, you know, clearly not a 20. I thought for sure it would have been a 25, 30 point route. And they had, you know, 22, 23 point leads throughout the game.
Right. It was that late run that made it closer
than it appeared. It really was like a 20 point game.
Yeah.
Yes,
you know?
Exactly. Yeah.
So, you know, there's that. I mean, you know, you win by 13. Really, it's 20. But yeah, we didn't see what we see sometimes, which is like that 20 points turns into 35 really quickly.
Like in your era, that happened all the time.
You just didn't see that yesterday. Doesn't mean that we won't see it, but yeah, we didn't look as good as I thought we would. But I thought that we saw some really great things. So,
wouldn't you think at the end of the day that Williams would be that third option? I mean, she put up really good numbers 2 years in a row at Wisconsin. I would think for her, it's just a matter of getting used to the way things are done here. I would think she's probably that third option.
Yeah, I agree. And I think, like, you know, I mean, listen, the Big Ten is a good conference. It's a different style of play than UConn wants to play. Right. So, you know, we want to play a little bit faster. It's a lot of reads versus set plays and set offenses. You know, I mean, we don't run a bunch of like one hitters, you know, so it's getting into the mode of, you know, where to get people the ball and when, and, you know, this read and who's going to do what. So it's going to take a little bit of time, but I agree. I think Williams will probably end up being that third person. And then that gives like Shade and KK and some of these other kids the opportunity to say, all right, listen, like if one of us can get 8 to 12 a game,
right,
you know, or we take turns doing that, we'll be all right.
Yeah.
So, you know, but yeah, Williams has got to solidify that, you know, hopefully sooner rather than later. But, you know, overall, I mean, listen, they beat a top 20 team by, let's say, 20. There was really at no point during the game where I was like,
they were threatened.
Okay, this could go either way. I mean, I watched the Tennessee NC State game before that. And that one was good pretty much all the way down to the wire.
I watched in spurts. Sarah Williams, to me, and I could be wrong, she seemed somewhat uncomfortable out there. Is that accurate or not really? And she only took 6 shots. So it just kind of seemed like she was obviously, she's new, she's still learning, she's feeling her way. She just seemed like she wasn't completely 100% comfortable out there, which I guess you wouldn't expect to be in your first game. But I wanted to get your thoughts on that if I was way off.
No, I don't don't think you're off. I think again, like you go from playing in a program where first of all you're getting the offense is built around you versus playing in an offense where it's really built for everybody, right? Like, okay, AZ's girl guards her this way, I cut that way. It's a lot more reactionary basketball and just like moving and knowing the game and just reading the defense than, hey, let's post up, we're going to pound it in the paint and you can do your thing. Like that's not the way we typically play. And I do think that it takes time to adjust. And, as good as the practice players and everybody are in practice, there's nothing like having to react to it in front of a ton of people live in a game without having a couple of those situations under your belt.
Joe, what did you think?
You look at the way the shots were distributed. I mean, obviously, Sarah and AZ are gonna take the majority. They took 37 of the 78, so they took almost half the shots. And then Arnold, Shade, and Hikel took the other 32. There really wasn't much left for Williams. I mean, she got mainly scraps out of that. She'll be fine. And I loved Gino's approach post game, and we can talk about this when we talk about the men's game, because he was, nothing's ever going to be great, and every win is a good win, and I think that's the way to look at it. We don't look at it enough, and we're guilty like everybody else, but you're always looking to pick at the little nubs that come out. It's a win. And you're going to do things better. And there's games that things aren't going to go as well. It's just a matter. It's a results-oriented business. So, you get a win against Louisville, as Maria said, for most of the night, it's a 20-point game. Your two best players play great, and you move on to the next challenge.
All right, Christy, I apologize for upsetting you. Kayla Hikel, he wanted me to mention, he thought Kayla Hikel played phenomenal, and he was surprised that we didn't mention her earlier. He thinks that she is got a chance to maybe be better than KK.
No.
I don't.
No.
My only concern with KK, Maria, is I mean, she is a ball of energy out there. She rebounds. She is all over the place defensively. She can score. I don't know about her as a distributor and as a facilitator. That would be my only question or concern. Is that something that she does?
Yeah, I'm not concerned about that at all. And like, listen, comparing, KK and Hikel, is like comparing a someone who runs the 4x100 to somebody who runs the mile, right? Like, you're talking about two totally different paces of the way that they play. And, you kind of need both, right? Because sometimes you're going to have games where you just got to slow down a little bit. But I think that with KK, in terms of distributing, her biggest attribute, obviously, is her speed. And her ability to get downhill against defenders and draw people or just, something as simple as shifting the defense because somebody's got to help because she's by, the recovery is late and then you swing it, you have great ball movement, AZ gets an open three. It's almost like a hockey assist where maybe you're not the person that's making that last pass to the shooter, but you're the one that drew two people that made the first girl open. So I think, when you look at just, distributing the ball, it's not necessarily going to always align in assists.
Right.
But what you're facilitating to create the shot that actually is the one that you get that's a good shot, I think is really important. And I think Hikel is more your traditional type of point guard than, KK, where it's like, she's in there. Even when you're watching the game, like your head starts to bob a little bit faster. You know what I'm saying? Like it's like a natural movement for your body to go because she's, I mean, listen, God bless her. She makes me tired just watching her for like 2 minutes, but
she's all over the place.
Yeah, it's like comparing a sprinter to a marathon runner. It's just not the same thing.
But you do agree that, I mean, she played 29 minutes last night, and realistically, that's not how much she should be playing. You think 15 to 20 minutes a game is kind of in her wheelhouse?
Who? KK?
Yeah.
No. She
No,
should
I
start
mean,
at
listen.
point guard.
Yeah, I mean, I think
you said she was playing too many minutes.
No,
I didn't.
who said that?
Oh, okay.
I didn't say
heard
that.
Who said
I never
that?
said she was playing too many minutes. What I'm saying is that there's two different styles that you need on a team, right? And listen, if the style is we want to play fast and it benefits us to win this game by having the point guard in that's going to push us and play faster, she might get 40 minutes a game, right? If she can sustain that energy. Like I said, God bless her. But we're obviously going to see teams down the road that maybe slow us down a little bit and make us grind in the half court. And Hikel is a good alternative to that. I think they're both phenomenal basketball players. But, I think, too, we got to remember is that, KK played a lot of minutes last year. She's got a big personality. I think she's very vocal out there. I think her teammates like her and they respect her. I don't know if Hikel has that same voice yet on the team. We'll see, but I know KK has it.
Yeah, KK will step out there. KK takes charge. KK is that big personality, and she definitely makes a difference. And I apologize. I thought I heard you say that she would not be able to sustain playing.
No. I said, God bless her. Hopefully she can sustain it, right. And don't forget last year, it was a little bit of a cheat code because one of our best players also had the ability to be able to play the point in Paige, right?
Correct.
So we didn't need KK to facilitate as much because Paige was so good at that as well. But, now she's got to be the point guard. She's got to be the one, getting us into our sets and our looks, etc. Where, last year we kind of, when they were both out there, you had 2 point guards and one.
Right. 100%. And I also was surprised that they went 9 deep because they do have a ton of talent. One of the other transfer, did she play the one? Didn't they get a transfer from Georgia? Or am I thinking of somebody else? Or the men's team?
Thinking of the men.
Okay, I was thinking of the men's team. But I really thought that beating a number 20 ranked team in the opener, even though it wasn't by 25 points, was a good start. They obviously gave up the run at the end of the game. Otherwise, I still think we are on pace. We look great. AZ and Sarah, it's going to be their show. KK, just I like you said, watching her tires me out. It's amazing to see the energy that she has and brings to the table and the leadership qualities. She's definitely stepped up and been a bigger presence and leader out there on the floor, which I think helps and takes charge. And then I think if they get some more production from Ashlyn Shade and Sarah Williams comes along, this team is going to be really dangerous. And like several people had asked Maria when I asked you yesterday, how does UConn lose one of its best players and end up being better this year after winning the national championship? A lot of people were surprised by that, but you were right. Paige really wasn't the best.
I mean, listen, they haven't proved that they're better yet than last year. So let's relax with that, right? But they have the capability. I think when you look at their roster top to bottom, I think they're definitely deeper. And getting back to, who was it, Christy that was asking about Hikel?
Yes, Christy was angry you didn't mention Hikel.
Hikel too, I think what we get caught in, I don't want to get caught all year in Hikel versus KK because, I also think
they're different things. They both do different things.
But listen, if Ashlyn Shade's not going to shoot the ball well, then Hikel can play the 2.
Right.
because she can shoot it from the outside. So I think like they're not independently different. And I thought Hikel played well yesterday. So, what was she? The third? I think she was the third leading scorer, right?
Yeah.
I mean, and there's nothing wrong with that. I think, that's just
she had
the way
14
that it's.
points.
Yeah. So like, they're different. That doesn't mean they can't play at the same time too. So, I think the nice part for Hikel is she can shoot the ball a little bit. Definitely better than KK can. So, she's going to have to play in those big spots. And I think both of them, like I said, if Shade doesn't shoot the ball well, and I hate to say it like this, and everybody else can play with the same toughness as her on the defensive end, you got to go to another option on the outside.
No, absolutely. That's what they need her for. And that's what they need her to come through for, especially, AZ was 2 of 8 from 3-point range. They need someone from outside the line. And if it's not Ashlyn, it's got to be somebody else. But I do agree with you. Affy, she really impressed me and came on at the end of last year. Like, she really established herself. She did a lot of good things. I was shocked that she only got 7 minutes, but you don't think that's going to be something regular where she's getting 10 minutes or under a game?
I mean,
I do.
You do?
I mean,
okay.
Listen, I haven't been to a practice yet this year, right? I'll get up to some in the next month or so. But listen, all I can tell you is this. This is what I know about Coach. If what he sees in practice is not what he likes, you're not getting the minutes that you think you should get. Like, that's not. We didn't see nothing she did yesterday had anything to do with yesterday, right? All of that was dictated in days prior. So I can't speak to what she is or isn't doing in practice because I haven't been there. But there's something that he sees that he doesn't like, and that's why she's not getting the minutes she's getting. So she's got to change that.
And look, she's fighting with Williams and with Brady for playing time in the post.
Yep.
So it's I would be surprised if she plays more than 10 minutes a game, because I think Williams is going to get the majority of the time, and then you're splitting time between El Alfie and Brady. And like Maria said, whoever does better in practice is going to play. It's not.
And I'll even take it one step further than that, Joe. Don't forget, we're not afraid to have Sarah Post in the
right. I was just going to say that.
Yeah,
I was just going to say that.
If we have 3 guards that are, purely guards and are playing well on the perimeter, like an AZ, KK, and Hikel, let's just say, then we go Sarah Strong low with Williams. So not only is she battling between, Brady, Williams, maybe Patterson a little bit, I don't know, but also you got to be a better option than just throwing Sarah down there.
No, 100%. Joe, I wanted to switch gears and talk about the men. I know they played at New Haven, and it wasn't exactly a barn burner, but we did get to see some things. And, I was thrilled because Stewart got 24 minutes. He was 5 of 8 shooting. He contributed 11 points. I think he's starting to get into a rhythm, get into a groove, and hopefully can show that he is capable of being a consistent contributor this year for this team, because we need him.
Well, I wouldn't go off a performance against
New Haven. I know.
As a sign that Jalen Stewart is going to be a consistent contributor. Let's pump the brakes on that at the start. Look, there was a lot of gnashing of teeth over the way they played in this game. The coach wasn't happy because a lot of the things they did poorly last year on the defensive end, they did poorly against the team that 8 months ago was a Division II team. They won by 24, whoop-de-damn-do, as Keyshawn Johnson would say. It's not, you know what? You should win that game by 44, not 24. If you're the number one team.
I would say 60. I would say 60, Joe. Like this should be like a Southern versus, UConn Women type score.
Yeah, I didn't see, the Caravan played well with a double-double. I wasn't impressed with DeMary.
No,
I think
not at
Smith.
all.
I think Smith is out of control at times. And again, they're missing two of their six best players in Mullins and Ross. So that's got to be taken into effect there. Jaden Ross gave you 2 points in 21 minutes, but he was a plus 21. The Karoma kid, who knows how much he's going to play when Terrence comes back, but he gives you solid minutes. Ryba had one block in 18 minutes. That big Italian kid ran circles around him. So for that one night, and again, emphasizing for that one night, wasn't impressive at all.
No. I agree with you with, Malachi Smith. He's come in with quite a bit of fanfare and, 2 of 6 from the field, 6 points. That's not going to get it done. But, I mean, do you anticipate him being a starter eventually?
No.
No. He's not. All right.
Well, let's look at it this way. Who's he going to start ahead of? He's not going to start ahead of Caravan.
Correct.
He's not going to start ahead of Solo.
Correct.
He's not going to start ahead of Ross. And when Mullins comes back, he's not going to start ahead of him, and he's not going to start ahead of DeMary. So the only way he will start games is if DeMary is hurt.
Okay.
That's the only way.
And what were your thoughts on Rebay? I mean, he played 18 minutes. He didn't really have any assists. He scored 6 points.
He's not the big Steve. You can't. Big guys aren't gonna.
I know.
Walton, big guys aren't gonna have assists.
But like you said, I mean, we need more out of him. I mean, he's got to perform a little bit better for us to have success.
He's playing his first game. I thought he was fine. The thing I said was that
the rebounding
kid in the middle for New Haven was a European type player who was shooting a shot off his off foot and had a gajillion more years of experience. It looked like I wouldn't. Look, if Eric Rebay's got to be one of your main men, you're not winning a national championship.
You're in trouble. Yeah.
He's a backup.
He's
a backup in a perfect world. Now, if Ross gets hurt or Ross gets in constant foul trouble, which I'm still not convinced isn't going to happen, then you need Rebay to be really good. But you also have Karoma, who has surprised me with how good he's been.
Right. And it should have been a bigger blowout, obviously. And I believe that was technically right. Their first game of the year. They go to UMass Lowell in Columbia, so they should start.
Yeah, they don't go there. They come to UConn.
Oh, they're
not playing at UMass Lowell or Columbia. Those days will never take place.
That's right. Those games will never take place. And then they have the
I just still think like
series.
It's the big red flag for me, as it was last year, is that point position, Joe.
Right.
Yeah, that's why I asked.
It's just, I mean, listen, it's the first game, so I'm just kind of like whatever about it.
I totally agree. Agree. It's the first game. I think if you're a newcomer, you're trying to do too much. You're trying to make an impression. Maybe you're a little out of control. The thing with Demery is, would he play 20 minutes? And Malachi Smith played 22? I would think you want that reversed. Demery got in foul trouble. You can't, and you got to remember, and Coach pointed this out, Tristan Newton wasn't a Husky of honor his first few games with UConn. So,
exactly.
The biggest overreaction in sports comes to an opening game of the year, whether it's the NFL or college basketball. Everybody wants everybody wants everything to blend together at once, and it just doesn't work that way. So while they struggled, while some pieces didn't fit. Look, the first game you need all the pieces to fit is against BYU at the Garden.
Right. When they have the Hall of Fame series, when they have BYU, Arizona, that's going to be a good one to see. But I think they obviously have UMass Lowell and Columbia to continue to work out the kinks. Danny Hurley obviously is going to get them into shape and make changes, any adjustments that need to be made in practice. And I think he'll have them rolling. I mean, that's traditionally how he's been able to do it. And I think they have just as much talent, if not more than last year. And if Demery comes around and Malachi Smith, I mean, they, again, could have a squad that puts up a lot of points, and they're always going to play tough defense.
But they didn't last year. That was the problem.
No, that wasn't
defense. They played horseshit defense last year. They
fouled way too much.
So to say they always play great defense, Steve, isn't true.
Well, I mean, traditionally, UConn plays good defense. We did not last year, obviously, with Sampson falling all over the place and Reed fouling. But I think that this team is a little bit more athletic. And I think that we should be able to play better defense going into this year with this roster. But yeah, I mean, last year for sure, no, we did not play traditional UConn defense. But I think
let's not confuse athleticism with great defenders. There's some great defenders that aren't super athletic. I think I think it's smart defense. Like, Klingon was a great defender. He had, or you look at like an Emeka Okafor. Yeah, he was athletic. He's not the most athletic big we've ever had, but the guy was smart. His timing on help side and blocks and not leaving his feet when he didn't need to, like, that guy was very rarely in foul trouble, Joe.
Right.
He was on the court you can't help your team play defense from the bench. It doesn't work like that. So
especially a big guy, especially the last line of defense. Those are the guys who can't get in foul trouble.
Yep.
No, exactly that. What did you think about Stewart? I mean, do you think that he is consistently improving? I know it's just New Haven.
No, I don't. I don't think he's consistently improving. Until he does it against the really good teams, I'm not going to make any judgment on him or Jaden Ross. Until I see him against B1. Not disrespecting the opponent, but what those guys do against New Haven, UMass Lowell, and Columbia doesn't mean a thing.
It's not going to matter until...
Because if you get in a BYU and Arizona game and you spoil yourself, then you're not doing your team any good.
Yourself. You're right. You're right. I just was trying to be optimistic about it because I think
realistic is better to be than optimistic.
Yes, you have to be a realist. And Solo Ball, Caravan, I think, will be the leaders. And
you don't worry about them.
I just hope that they play better defense and things start clicking by the time we get to BYU. Looking at the women, Maria, they have Florida State coming up on Sunday. What are your thoughts on that contest against Florida State? Is that going to be a challenge for them, or is that going to be something a little bit easier than Louisville?
Another one. I think I like Brooke. I think she's a good coach. She's a phenomenal basketball player. I think she gets her team to play really hard. I think they'll be gritty. But I just don't think from a talent perspective that they can hang with what we got. I think we'll see, more of the same, if not a little bit more lopsided Sunday. I think that, they're probably off today, then they'll get back in the lab, tomorrow, Friday, Saturday, and they'll fix some of those kinks that we saw, yesterday. So I assume we'll see an even better UConn women's team on Sunday than we saw last night.
Joe, what are your thoughts on the Florida State game that's coming up?
I think Maria's right. I think Brooks Weisbrod was a great player. She's going to get her teams to play the way that she did, which is all out all the time. But I think anybody coming into Gamble, it's a tough, especially the home opener. That you gotta be at the top of your game, and then beyond that, if you want to have a chance.
I think too, right? Like, aren't we? We're probably doing the banner Sunday.
Yes.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Which I always say is like a senior night because it could go one of two ways, right? Like it could really fire us up to be bouncing off the walls, or sometimes you get a little nostalgia, whatever, because that's happening. But yeah, if I'm Florida State, I don't know that I'd want to be in Gamble Sunday. I don't know.
Right, exactly. I totally agree.
No, that'll be the last place that they want to be.
It's gonna be so crazy loud in there, and it's just. And Gamble's already a really, really hard place to play, but throw the banner and everything else in, it's gonna be nutty there Sunday.
Because Joe, how long had it been since we won a national championship for women?
2016.
It was 2016. So yeah, so this is, a big moment. We've waited a while
that was a trick question. I was going to say April of 2025.
No, but I remember it had been a while, and we talk about how Connecticut fans can tend to be somewhat spoiled. So we got the championship, and I think it's going to be a big moment for them, and they'll come out and take care of business. And obviously with the men, UMass Lowell and Columbia, I think they'll work out the kinks and get everything ready for the Hall of Fame series. And I hope that Jalen Stewart plays well against BYU and we have a good showing. I did not check this. What are the men currently ranked? Just out of curiosity.
Fourth.
Right now.
Fourth, right?
Okay.
Fourth.
Yeah.
They are ranked fourth right now. And the women are one. And is there anyone that you would say right now, somebody asked, that are close to being a number two to the women?
Me personally, I think UCLA is going to be in it at the end.
Yeah.
Lauren Betts is really, really good. Kiki Rice is really, really good. They got some good pieces. Their coach knows what they're doing. I think if they can stay healthy, I think, obviously if USC had Juju, they would be in the mix, in my opinion.
Yes.
But yeah, you got South Carolina, but Chloe Kitt's out for the season. So, they gotta figure that out. But, they got some top recruits. So I think they'll be right up there as well. I'm interested to see how TCU looks with Olivia Miles. So I think there's some people out there that come to mind. And I still think USC will be all right. Even without Juju.
Yeah, they had a ton of talent.
I really like her coach. I think she does a really good job. Notre Dame, they lost a lot, but they still got Hidalgo and some other pieces there. So, and then Texas.
Joe,
Texas has a lot returning.
Oh, yes, and we play Texas, right? Is a non-conference schedule. Yes.
Yeah, I think that'll be a tough game. Duke lost last weekend.
Wow, that early on. That's not a good sign.
So,
Joe, do you believe that Caravan has improved and can average a double-double for the season? Do you think statistically he's capable of doing that?
No. I think he's really good.
Yeah, he is what he is.
The scoring part of it's not the hard part. It's the rebounds. 10 rebounds a game is a lot. People think you just snap your fingers and you get 10 rebounds a game. And just to correct, the women don't play Texas this year.
Yes, Christy just notified me of that. Christy, you're the executive producer. Fact check. We do not play Texas. The men play Texas, I believe, right? That's what I was thinking of.
Yep.
Yeah.
Thank you,
no,
Christy.
The double doubles that's hard. If he does, great.
Yeah.
Good for him, But no, I don't. I don't foresee him averaging 10 rebounds a game.
Do you foresee him as being the leading scorer, or do you think Solo Ball will be? Like, that was the other question asked.
I don't know. Who asked that? Is that you?
No, I believe it was Michelle Lorenzen.
What's the question?
Who will Caravan be
the leading scorer?
I would bet Ball will, because I think Ball will chuck up more shots.
That's what I thought too.
Yeah,
but
that's what I thought too.
I mean, I just saw one of Christie's comments about the men's roster that they should have upgraded it more. Yeah, I mean, listen, I agree with them in some circumstances. I don't think we have any lottery picks on the roster this year. That's for sure. I think it's a different roster. I don't think it's better than the 23 or 24 roster. I do agree with that.
Oh, not even close. No.
Yeah, that's
really.
Yeah, no. I mean, different, but definitely. I think you put the 23 or the 24 roster up against this one, it's not even close.
Even with Caravan returning and the players they brought in, you think the
Steve,
team from last year?
Steve, hold on a minute. What was the thing we just talked about? Lottery picks.
Yes, we don't have
that team had Castle. Those teams had Hawkins, who, by the way,
no, I'm not arguing about 23. I agree with you.
Jordan Hawkins, by the way, who's an inch away from being out of the NBA. Because he's finding out life's a little different in the NBA. You had Klingon, you had Sonogo, who wasn't even drafted, who would be the best center on this team by far. No, this roster's not even close.
Yep. No, the 23 team I agree with. The 24 team was the one I thought that we had made some improvements with the portal and with some of the guys we brought in.
Who on this team is better than Steph Castle and Donovan Klingon? And I'll leave it at that.
Not the 2023 team. That's what I said. I don't think we're better.
That's Joe. This
roster
I'm off by a year.
The 04 team.
I'm thinking of last year's team as 24 when it was really 25.
No. Think about the 04
24,
team
25.
Ben Gordon, Talik Brown, Emeka Okafor, Rashad on the perimeter. Like, they're not better than that team, in my opinion.
I meant to say
the 06 team was even better than that team.
Yeah, I agree.
Like George Mason, Rashad and Denham and Marcus Anderson and Hilton Armstrong and Rudy Gay and Josh.
Charlie Villanueva.
He wasn't there. I don't think he was still there in 06.
Did he leave?
But but those teams were far better roster construction than this team.
Well, and Rudy and Charlie were there in 04, weren't they?
No, Rudy wasn't there in 04.
No.
Rudy was there 05. Rudy was there 05, 06.
Yeah.
Yeah, I meant to say the 24-25 team. That's why I got screwed up. I think this team is better than the 24-25 team. Am I accurate with that statement?
Disagree.
No? Okay.
Because you have Liam.
You know what? It's one game. It's a silly thing to talk about one game.
Yeah, it's way too early to tell.
It's a silly thing to talk about one game in.
Yeah.
It's way too early to tell.
I still miss the Irishman. If they had the Irishman still on the roster, he should have stayed another year, but then it would be a different ball game.
Oh, McNeely. Yeah. But you know what, Maria, if McNeely's still here, you probably don't get Mullins.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, and McNeely got drafted. Didn't he end up getting drafted later than expected too?
I mean, he didn't get later
than the. I don't think it was late. I think it was later than all the UConn fanatics thought, but not later than where his place was. And again, he's playing 8-9 minutes a night, which is perfect for a guy who was drafted late in the first round. There's no shame in that.
No, not at all.
He's young. I mean, listen, he'd be a sophomore in college.
He's a baby.
Right, exactly. But you've got some of our guys who are hanging on the NBA by a thread. Andre Jackson never plays. Jordan Hawkins never scores. It's a big step. It's a big step. Tristan couldn't make it. Sonogo couldn't make it. It's just because you're a big man on campus in college doesn't mean you're big man in the NBA. That's for damn sure.
Well, it's a different game. It's a different style, and it's definitely tough to adjust to for some guys. But
and by the way, just to close my subject on that, if you played great in college and you don't make it in the NBA, it takes nothing away from what you did in college.
Not at all.
Absolutely nothing.
Not at all. Not at all. I agree with that wholeheartly.
Well, that makes me feel better.
And Joe, I'll ask you, since we talked about it yesterday quickly, the WNBA lockout, they agreed to an extension for negotiations. Do you think that they will be able to come to a CBA agreement before the extension ends?
They better, because as I said to you before,
the worst
WNBA ain't there in the summer. People are going to shrug their shoulders and move on to something else. It's not like if the NBA or the NHL or the NFL or Major League Baseball locks out. With all due respect, it's a whole different animal. So for their good, I would hope that they would come. Both sides would see the handwriting on the wall, come to an agreement.
So you don't agree with Angel Reese then, who said
that they should get
I'm not
paid like the
unless I
NBA
get
player?
NBA money.
I love Angel Reese.
So stupid. I heard this morning on Sirius NBA radio, and it's so true. Kevin Durant was praising Cooper Flagg and saying he could be one of the all-time greats. Put that in context with the way WNBA veterans treated Caitlin Clark last year.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean they gave her a little welcome, I guess. They weren't.
Cooper Flagg is an animal. That guy is savage. I'll watch him play. Like, just for any people out there that have kids that are listening to this, you want your kid to be good at anything, make them play with the amount of energy and passion that guy plays with every single time he's on the court.
Every time he takes the floor.
Oh my gosh. It's like
he might have off night shooting. He never has an off night effort wise.
Never. And listen, I hope he can sustain it with his body, because this is gonna be a long year, but I don't think he'll not for lack of want. I think listen, rookies have a little bit of a trouble adjusting in that first year, but I got to tell you, I mean, this kid, just the way he even just plays defense, attacks the rim, he's great. He's old school.
He's going to be great.
And Doncic is out right now, correct? Isn't he injured? That's what I had heard.
Who?
Luka Doncic, isn't he out?
Doncic? You mean his brother, Luka Doncic?
I'm sorry, I can't pronounce anything. Yeah.
Is he hurt? He just played
he's banged up.
Is he?
Yeah, that's what I. They've
been winning without
him.
LeBron, Luka, and the last couple games, Austin Reeves.
Yeah, so that was because everyone was furious with Dallas, obviously, for that trade, and obviously getting Cooper Flagg, I think, makes up for it to an extent. They still want to shoot the general manager, but I think that they're going in the right direction.
To an extent, I mean, listen, if you're a Dallas fan, listen, I get it. That was with the hopes of getting a Cooper Flagg. That was a really risky move. But if you're a Dallas fan and you're not ecstatic about the future of your franchise, you got issues.
Yeah, you know what? You should take up going to the opera.
Yeah, you got issues, because that kid is exciting. And listen, I'm a big Kyrie fan. I think he's phenomenal. And for him to be able to place, beside him, who's going to get him the ball in his, in his spots, he's going to light it up this year.
All right. Well, I'll let you guys go. I know we have a couple things going on. The women play on Sunday, and the men will play again on Friday, I believe.
True that. The big event is next Monday night, 5:30 at the O'Neill Center.
That's right,
Opening night for WestCon against John Jay.
Let's
that's
go.
right. That's right.
the big
I asked her
event.
about that.
Screw everything else.
I
Yep.
asked her about that. And Joe, I got to do my interview with the National Sea Club for my award. So that will be printed in the newsletter or the magazine, both very soon. You'll get to see that.
What
and
newsletter?
I mentioned you prominently.
Oh, great.
I mentioned Maria too. The National Sea Club has a newsletter, and then the UConn magazine. I think they do it.
Well, I look forward to seeing it.
Yes. I can't wait for you to see it. You're gonna love it. So for another banner, Husky Hoops, Maria Conlon, UConn legend, and Western Connecticut State University head coach, Joe D, the icon, legendary voice of the Huskies, the best of the best. I'm Steve Cully, the best podcast host in the universe. Remember, when life gives you lemons, don't make lemonade. Take 2 oranges, throw them right back at life.